just to save yourself a lot of pain, remember that we've got this forecast result class here that points to a list of type 5 daily forecast. And if you go into the 5 daily forecast class, you must make sure that this is public, because if we don't make that public, nothing's going to pop up and it's going to drive you insane. Like, I've just spent 20 minutes wrecking my brain for something so tiny. So be careful, because we actually need to get to the weather list. So we're going through this class, we access a list which contains all the objects in this class. Through this class, we access this list at some spaces. So yeah, make sure you mark your stuff public. Okay, so if we go back to that adapter, you are going to see that we want to do the onBind view holder. So we want to now bind data to each one of our image views or text boxes. And I think we're going to start with the image view. So we're going to say Picasso.get.load, and we wanted to load a new string builder. I think it's actually after that. Nope. We want to load a new string builder. And inside here, the first thing we want to pass in is this URL here for the image, which we are just going to come steal from here. We want this little URL towards the image, which I really stuffed up in the last video. So this is why I'm just going to come and copy and paste it. So we want this URL, and we want to append to that URL the following. We want to say forecast results dot list dot get. What position are we at? Okay, so we need to get the position, and then we are going to say dot weather, and in that list we want to get position 0. And once we have that, we want to say get icon. Okay, so we'll finish this line of code before we look at where this stuff comes from. And then after this, we want to append .png, PNG, and we want to toString this whole thing. Oh, this is a lot of word. And this must go into holder dot image 5 day weather. Yes, that was an insane amount of work. So let's just look what we're doing here. We're saying going into the forecast result class. In there, you will find a list. Okay. There is this list. Now we know that we are using this list to get the size of our data. So we say get position, find 0 here. When we go into that list, I want you to find weather. Okay. So we go into 5 day forecast and we said weather. Oh my heck. Weather is another list. In that list, which is this guy, find position 0. And for position 0 as the very first item in this list, please return for me the icon. Fantastic. Okay, I hope that makes sense, but we're basically just traversing the data like this. Okay, and the reason we have to have the positions is that that's where we get the 0th position every single time, because we want to put it into the 0th position over here. So right now we are getting the list in the forecast result class called list. It's position 0. From there we say we would like weather. We realize that's also a list. We get its position 0, and we've got to load the icon in there. Whew, excuse me. So that's the first one. So let's go do the next one. So let's say we would like to get the temperature. So to get the temperature, we're going to say set text. And inside here, we're going to say new string builder. And inside that new string builder, we're going to say string.value of And this is what we want the value of. We want forecast result dot list dot get, oopsie, dot get. And we want to find the position, which is passed for us. We'll look at that again now. So once we get the position, we want main. And from main, we want the temperature. Okay. All right, and we want to append to that, so we must just find where the string builder brackets end here. It's wild. Let's just enter this one down. I think we're going to get dot append. And we want to append the Celsius value, which we're also going to go steal from current. Whether somewhere here we are appending that Celsius. Oh, bloody hell, I can't find it. Well, the easiest way to find it is to go to, you're not supposed to look at that, All My Shines Blue Whales, go to openweathermap.org. Let's search for the weather in Durban. Ha! Do we steal that? Okay, and we go back to our forecast adapter. Okay, happiness, I think there's a space. Oops, no! It's the thing I can't make. Okay. Right, we've got that in. Let's go do the next one. So now we have the temperature, we need the description. So we're going to say holder dot 5-day description dot set text and the whole shebang again. We are going to say, oh, I forgot one thing. Let's go back up here. Sorry for that. But you know where we say list.getPosition.main, just so that we can see that we're going to the 5-day forecast. We get the position for list, and in the 5-day forecast, we have main. So we don't have to go all the way into weather. Main is right in the 5-day forecast. Okay. Right. So what do we need in here? We need a new string builder, and we need string.value of, you guessed it, forecast results dot list dot get position, and we're going to see that the description is actually in weather. Okay, so we now have to go through into the weather class again. So now that we've got that, we want to say weather, oopsie, dot weather, but inside weather we need to get the correct position, which is 0 because we're still doing the first object. Okay, and once we have that, we can say dot get description. And I don't think we append anything here. No, that is fine. So the last one is the date and time. So we're going to say holder dot 5-day wait dot 5-day date dot set text and the whole shebang again. New string builder, and this I think is a little bit different. We want common dot convert time, because remember we get our time as an ugly value. We want common dot to convert time, and in there we want to pass forecast result dot list dot need alcohol list dot position dot list dot get position, I bracket dot get date and time. So there we have all of them. We now have the date, the temperature, and the description, and the image. All of this is done, and we're now binding to our data. I'm going to end this video here for an absolute fear that I break something else after all of that, because that was a lot of work. So we'll look at the rest in the next video. So just that we remember, as we've created our class, which will give us an object, and we said these are the images or the little views we want to fill, which is an image view and text view and so forth. We then go and say, once we instantiate these objects for each item in the recycler view, please bind the following data to there. We can only bind that data if we know where we can get it from, and we get it from get item count. And that's passed in here as a position. So say we had 9 items in our list, or we had, and we can look at the Java, we had quite a bit, but we should technically have 5 because this is a 5-day forecast. So we will have a list reaching from 0 to 4. So we will go in and say, find the position in that list at 0. Go into another list, find its 0, get its icon. And we will bind the correct data as position 0 for the first iteration, position 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we should be done. Okay, right, so I'm going to, actually let's not end this video. Lord, I hope I don't break it, because this is really just one line of code. So we now actually have on create view holder. So remember that this view holder class that we have at the bottom here, we haven't done anything with it. Okay, we need to actually create the view holder now, because that's the adapters class, and this class exists outside the adapter. So let's just do this. We're going to say we have a view, item view, and what is that view? It is layoutinflator.from. We just have to pass the context because this is Android. .inflate r.layout. 5-day weather items. And we just have to pass in some other stuff here. Don't freak out for the 0. Okay, we just have to pass in comma parent, comma false. Okay, and obviously in line. Now, we want to return the following. Now look at this. This view holder class here at the bottom expects an item view when it is instantiated. It has a constructor, and this constructor accepts a view when we construct this class, and it will not construct a class without the view. So we return a new my view holder, and we pass in item view as the view. It accepts, and that is our whole constructor finished. So in the next video, we're just going to talk over the stuff again so it all makes sense, and then we're going to do the rest of this.